We will go ahead and get started then. My name is Courtney Pelfrey, and I serve as the Director for Downtown Career Services. So we're going to get into all about UCF Downtown and a little bit of the history of the campus and the programs that are there. But that's a role that I am really excited that I have the opportunity to serve in. I work downtown with some fabulous colleagues, several of whom you will meet this afternoon. And I'm going to turn it over to some of my co-presenters. Jason, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Courtney. Hey, everyone. My name is Jason Dodge. I'm the Director of Student Success for UCF Downtown, which, like Courtney, I have an opportunity in this role to work with a variety of different student services as well as faculty throughout the campus. I'm excited to be here today. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Dina, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you for having me. My name is Dina, and I'm currently in my last semester of my program for the MHA, Master of Health Administration at UCF Downtown. And I'm currently working as a graduate assistant with Jason and Courtney. I used to work with Career Services, but we took it a step further where I'm working with other high impact practices. So after reviewing student resumes, I'll go ahead and recommend adding certain skills by joining undergraduate research, graduate school preparation, and so forth. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a special guest joining us today, Elizabeth Thompson. You're going to get to hear from a little bit later. Elizabeth, I'll have you introduce yourself as a sneak preview of what folks will get to hear from a little bit later.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Thompson, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement for the UCF Downtown Valencia College Downtown Campus.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And with that, I did send out before this session a link so that you could watch a virtual tour of the downtown campus. I know that we can't all be physically there together right now, but if that is something that you're interested, please take a moment, if you haven't already, to check out that virtual tour. It's a really cool way to see a little bit of our space downtown. But I'm going to turn it over to Jason to talk a little bit about the history of UCF Downtown so that you kind of understand what that looks like, our partnership with Valencia College, and some of those fun things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Courtney. And so if you're not familiar with the downtown campus, we opened in the fall of 2019. And so we've had a very interesting first 2 years on our campus with the pandemic. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the vision for the campus and some of the things that we've worked on and really what our mission is and our goals. And so I really see our unique campus split up into 3 key elements. And so the first one is providing access to higher education, specifically in partnership with the Paramore community and local high schools. We have a variety of different initiatives that target this goal, such as the Paramore Education Innovation District project between our institution and Helios Foundation. Really great work that they're doing there. And then the second one is building educational pathways. And so this is probably the most unique part of our downtown campus is the partnership with Valencia College. Valencia College, if you're familiar or not familiar, they are one of the top community colleges in the country. And so students on the downtown campus can literally go from an AA or an AS degree all the way through PhD on the same campus. These students, whether they're UCF or Valencia, receive services from our different departments, including career services in the high impact areas, as well as sit next to each other in class. And so we have co-listed classes is what we call them. So great, unique opportunities for students to go all the way through their higher education on one campus. And again, really hitting home that idea of access there as well. And then the third one is place-based education and proximity to local industry. And so this isn't UCF's first venture into place-based education. If you're familiar with the Rosen campus, we've also done that there. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like here on this slide for specifically the downtown campus. And so what we've done, this is one of my favorite images for the downtown campus. And really what this shows is, if you're familiar with main campus, UCS main campus, you have the student union in the middle of campus, and then you have about a 15-minute walk radius to the perimeter of campus where the parking garages would be. And so within that same 15-minute walk radius on the downtown campus, you have access to all of this, all these different partners, this different industry, additional higher education opportunities with FAMU Law School right around the corner. And so again, this really hits home and highlights the connection that we've been building with our majors and the intentional majors that we brought downtown and the local industry and the opportunities for support that we provide to students. So.
Yeah, and that brings us to who is downtown. So what types of academic programs is UCF offering? And I'll show you on a slide in just a moment also the academic programs that Valencia College offers downtown. So these are both UCF's undergraduate programs as well as our graduate degrees available downtown. And you'll notice probably right off the bat that they are very widespread in terms of their focus. So, you know, unlike a campus like Rosen College, where it's all of our hospitality students, we have students studying downtown from across different colleges. And so you'll notice, you know, some of our communication programs from our Nicholson School of Communication and Media, you'll see things like communication and conflict, digital media, human communication. But then you'll also see things from our CCIE programs, which is College of Community Innovation and Education. And so that's things like legal studies, nonprofit management, public administration. And like Jason was mentioning, all of those things tie in so nicely to the industries that are right around the corner from campus. But it's cool because we've got such a diverse subset of students studying in these programs, not just at the undergraduate level, but there on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice all of those master's level and even PhD level programs that are housed within our downtown campus as well.
All right, and so just like that was my favorite image, that map, this is one of my favorite charts that really hits home the downtown campus theme of intentionality. And so what we didn't do was say, okay, biology, go downtown, or chemistry, go downtown, without connecting opportunities for intentional internship and career opportunities. And so we looked at what this shows is we mapped an area around main campus within certain zip codes around main campus, and looked at, okay, how many internship or career opportunities are there for communications majors, government, legal, and HSA, or health services administration. And we said, okay, there's about 36 in communications around main campus, not bad, but there's 96 within the same proximity to the downtown campus, and so forth. And so same with government, obviously, that's a natural fit in the downtown Orlando area with Orange County government and city government being down here. And then legal, you can see 31 law offices around main campus, or 768 opportunities around the downtown area. And then the same, obviously, with health services administration, especially with large employers like Advent Health and Orlando Health being just a short commutable away on the Sunrail. And so again, intentional. And then with what Courtney mentioned earlier, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about with our population, students are across a myriad of different majors and different levels. And so you have AA students or PhD students looking at different levels of employment as they're graduating. So great opportunities to recruit students no matter what level of employee you're currently looking for.
Absolutely. And with that, here are some of the associate's degrees that Valencia College offers downtown. So just like we've been talking about, you can see that really seamless progression from, you know, somebody who comes into Valencia College studying that digital media associate in arts degree. It's a pre-major, but that tracks in perfectly to our bachelor's degree in digital media. Which is also housed downtown. And then students could go from there into a master's level program for digital media. We've got one of the best master's programs in the country, if not the world, for that type of thing, and strong partnerships with employers like Electronic Arts and others who are locally in our vicinity as well. So it really does create a strong pipeline, and even more than a pipeline, I think a really strong tie to the community that we're in. And that's, you know, you've heard us say it already this afternoon, and you'll hear us talk about it again, and Elizabeth specifically, but we do have this focus on partnering with these organizations in our community so that it's a mutually beneficial kind of experience all the way around. Jason, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, so what you'll see on your screen is our institutional knowledge management department helped us with building a dashboard that we could really see who are our downtown students, who's our population. And so that's what you'll see on your screen here. So you'll see the difference between how many students are UCF students, versus our Valencia headcount. So UCF, this is total downtown with both populations, UCF and then Valencia over here. And then you'll see how that's broken out between downtown. A lot of our students will go back and forth between downtown and main campus, as well as a sizable population that will also be taking their classes online. I believe Courtney mentioned before, we have a sizable senior population, or upperclassmen rather, and so juniors and seniors make up the largest population of our undergraduate. And then what's, again, very unique about the campus is the large percentage of graduate students on the downtown campus as compared to main campus. And so a large population of grad students. You'll see, as Courtney mentioned, CCIE and College of Sciences, which is where our Nicholson School of Communication and Media is housed within the College of Sciences. And so those are predominantly the students that you'll see. In addition to our College of Business Administration, this number has actually gone up since the MBA program joined our campus from their previous location on Pine Street in downtown. So we're excited to have them as an addition as well. The last thing I want to highlight on this slide is we're proud of the diversity of our campus. And so you can also see that at the bottom of your screen, how diverse our campus is. And that's probably a theme that you already are familiar with as UCF as a whole, as a very diverse institution. So. All right, and this is just broken out one more time to hone in a little bit more about who our students are, at what level our students are. And so you'll see that 53% of them are seniors. And then undergraduate as well, the largest next population is your juniors. And then we have a large population of master's students. PhD is going to be smaller. You're not going to see them represented here because it is a smaller population. And then alumni as well. Alumni have an opportunity to continue to engage in career services for 2 semesters after graduation. And so we continue to work with them to develop their skills, to make sure that they are employable for the industry that we're trying to connect with. So.
Awesome. And so I want to just kind of use that as a springboard into talking a little bit about how career services works downtown. A question that I get often when I'm working with employers who are interested in recruiting these populations of students is, well, do these students still have access to the same type of career preparation that students on main campus would have? And the answer is absolutely yes. These students have access to everything that our main campus students have access to. That includes one-on-one advising on things like resumes, cover letters, general internship searches or job search processes. They have access to those meetings, and they also have access to larger scale things like workshops, career expos, in-class presentations with faculty, employer-led events, networking events. And so, certainly over the last year, things have been anything, but conventional. We all know that. But our downtown students have been really ingrained into the virtual fold with everyone. So they have, again, been able to access all of the same things that our main campus students would be able to access, and are really intertwined in the mix there. When we are physically on campus all together, those are services that we are providing physically in their space downtown as well. And it's something that we intend to grow as a campus. We want to see more employers coming, to work with us on the downtown campus, setting info sessions downtown, tabling downtown, networking events downtown. Some of the ways that we've already been doing that, some of these virtually, some of these in person, but this is just kind of an overview of some of the programs we've put on for this downtown population. One of my favorites on here is Communication Alumni Career Panel. We partnered with our colleagues in the Office of Alumni Professional Engagement. And those are folks that we're happy to connect you with as well, so that you can better understand how to recruit alumni. Ashley Turner is our colleague who runs that program, and she will actually be on a panel tomorrow morning about our campus partners. And so if alumni is a population that you're wanting to learn more about reaching and recruiting, I would highly encourage you to join us for that tomorrow. But we put on a panel downtown. Our communication students are housed downtown, and we brought in communication alumni from a variety of different employers and opportunities to speak to communication undergraduate students about what their career opportunities would be. And that's something that, again, are hoping to expand and continue to offer downtown, in addition to things like a LinkedIn photo booth. City of Orlando did an info session with us last year. We did something this spring called a Nights at Work Downtown Prep Day, where we invited students who were getting ready to graduate to come in for sample resumes and mock interview questions and LinkedIn headshots. And they got to meet with some of the representatives from Addition Financial, who are our downstairs neighbors on campus, to talk about, financial preparation for life after graduation. And so there are just a myriad of opportunities to get involved with our student populations downtown. And similar to the way that, on main campus, we've got kind of any number of innovative ways to partner with us and to get in front of students, the same thing is true for downtown. And we're really open to any ideas about what that partnership could look like. Again, this is just an example of some of the things that we put on over the last year. Downtown Hiring Hour was a really unique one. One of my colleagues, Doris, actually runs our hiring hour programs, and that takes kind of a subset of employers from a specific industry and puts them on an employer panel to talk about, their companies, their culture, what they're hiring for. But it gives students a chance to hear from multiple employers at once, which is really great visibility, and they attract a ton of students. And so we were able to put on our first geographically based hiring hour, which was our downtown hiring hour, where we invited, companies from the local downtown Orlando area to join us for a recruiting event and a hiring panel. And it was very successful. The students loved it. And so it's something that we hope will be able to continue downtown each semester going forward. We also have seen really strong engagement. So, our students are utilizing these services downtown. Over 2,000 unique instances of engagement with career services activities downtown, and that doesn't even include one-on-one counseling appointments. So, they're attending these classroom presentations, they're attending info sessions, they're attending networking events. And I think, again, the focus about community engagement and participation with local organizations is such an emphasis downtown that you're going to find that this population of students is really willing to plug into things like that. So we run kind of a campaign, we call it, called the Nights at Work Downtown campaign. And essentially this is directly geared towards our downtown employer partners. And it's kind of twofold. We want to hear from you and hear your success stories. Have you hired nights in the past? Are you in the process of hiring nights? Are you a night yourself and you've had a really great career story that you can share with our students? So that might be one part of it. And we'd love to hear those stories and to be able to share them and broadcast them on our social media and across different platforms. But the other piece of it is maybe you've never hired UCF students or alumni before, but you are really intrigued by all of the possibilities and our campus diversity and, just our impressive students. And that's another thing that I want to be a resource for you in the downtown community, to connect you with folks on campus, connect you with folks at Valencia, to connect you with, maybe it's faculty members, or maybe it's connecting you with Elizabeth. And so I am kind of that person on the downtown campus to help you as employers make those connections and figure out what might be the best strategy for getting in front of these populations of students, or just, forging a stronger partnership with this new campus. And so with that, I want to give Elizabeth a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about her role. It is unique and so important. And I think, Elizabeth, your lens is different than all the rest of our lenses on this work that we do. So I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth to share with you.
Hi, everyone. I have, first of all, thank you for this amazing presentation. There were things that I didn't even know, but found to be extraordinarily impressive. And I want to say, from a community engagement standpoint, one of the most impressive things that I have found is the role that I'm in, and the fact that there was a need for the role, and that it was backed with action and not just words. And so what I mean by that is that part of my primary duties are to make sure that the resources that are brought about by having some wonderful institutions like the University of Central Florida and Valencia College in this downtown footprint, those resources are accessible easily to the people and the students that are in the area. We want to be sure that when it comes to training and education, whether it be degree programs, certification programs, or even GED programs, that the information is out there, that these are things that are available in this footprint and how to go about availing yourselves of these opportunities. And for me, that's really the key word: opportunity. Opportunity and accessibility, because after all, that is really what education is. It is the creation of choices so that you can have greater opportunities and you can meet the challenge when it presents itself. And so I talk about students, and what I mean is the downtown campus has the unique situation of being part of what we call an educational ecosystem. And so what that means, Courtney was able to share about going from an AA or AS into a PhD, but really you can go from pre-K or VPK all the way to a PhD in this same footprint, or as Jason showed us, in this 15-minute walkable radius. So you can be from the area, familiar with all of the things that are there, and still understand that you can pursue your educational options at one of these institutions. And also that it does not have to be degree programs. I think for some, degree programs are intimidating, but by bringing people in with associate programs or by bringing people in with certification programs, it allows them to understand that education is accessible to more people than you might think. And that's all able to be done right here in the same footprint. And another thing that I think is especially unique about the downtown campus, of course, are the people that are in the community. And we want to be good stewards and good neighbors. And we want to listen to the needs and desires of the people who are there. The reason that we said it, hey, this is an attractive area, we want to come here. And that is part of what makes the downtown campus culture. And so through the administration, or through UCF and Valencia, we formed the Parramore Community Engagement Council. And the Parramore Community Engagement Council is in fact a council that is made up majorly of Parramore residents. And it is the job, or it is the privilege or the benefit of the Parramore residents to be able to dictate what their strategies are and what their priorities are. And then we as support organizations figure out how to implement that strategy or advance that priority. So it is kind of more, not as much us telling the community what's needed, but the community being able to tell us what's needed. And then we can figure out how to make sure that it happens. And we leverage the resources and the community partnerships that we have in order to make those things happen. And as you saw from the 15-minute walkable radius, we have access to quite a lot of partners. We have the city of Orlando, we have Orange County, we have the Orlando Magic organization, the Amway Arena, City Soccer, and I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I don't have that kind of time. But it's a unique place where you can learn and then take your learning and immediately implement it in this same area. So people can live in the area, be educated in the area, have internships in the area, and be hired in this same area, and still working with people that they are familiar with and organizations that they have exposure to. So that's one of the things that makes this campus so innovative and so special. And I know it's a reason why I'm glad to be part of it. And I think Courtney and Jason and Dina and all of our other colleagues feel the same way, because we're able to build an infrastructure that, again, provides additional opportunity, additional choices, and makes it easily accessible. The downtown campus is an open campus. And so we welcome people to come in and to utilize the space and to utilize the internet and to have a sub from Subway. We welcome community members, we welcome students to kind of live and integrate one with the other, so that we're exposing all walks of life to this college and university area and campus. And so that it is not something that seems unattainable, but is so readily and easily accessible that if you want to do homework, you can go sit in the lobby and plug your computer into the chair and have at it. So we want to make sure that we are advancing education as an accessibility. And then we want people to understand, well, what happens once I get this education? What am I going to do with it? What is it going to provide? And this is where we talk about jobs and job opportunities, internships, and things that people might not consider. Jobs that are not necessarily, we have the FAMU College of Law, but what about working in their marketing department? That might not be something that is as easily, recognized, but there are so many career paths that are available. And we want to be able to emphasize that there are a lot of options, no matter your degree pursuit. And so we want to be sure that we partner with fantastic organizations so that we bring the energy and the excitement that students often have and the eagerness to learn. And we provide them with hands-on opportunities to sharpen their skills and enact, utilize their education. So I don't know if that's what you were kind of looking for, Courtney, but I'm happy to take questions if there are any.
Yes, that was amazing, Elizabeth. Thank you. And I think it just, again, is a perfect example of the way that, we pride ourselves downtown in working so closely across departments and across offices, because we want our students to have the type of experience where they know that everything is collaborative, and we want them to feel empowered to go and make connections in the community and feel like, on a Saturday morning, they're volunteering downtown, and on Monday morning, they're going to their internship downtown, and they can live, work, and play downtown. And so, that's, what we always talk about, but I think it's cool, especially for our employer partners to hear too, because there may be really innovative ways that you all as attendees are listening to this and imagining how you might get involved in that ecosystem, or to partner with any of our offices downtown, depending on what your hiring needs are or what your own strategic priorities are in the downtown area. So I think that is wonderful. And certainly I think there will be some questions about, even more how we can work together. So the last thing I just want to touch on briefly is some of what we plan to do in the year ahead. It's hard now to talk about a year's worth of plans, because we all saw in the last year, all of our plans kind of went right out the window, and that's okay. We are very good at adjusting, and we're very good at this virtual world right now, but we are planning on developing what we call a living learning community downtown. We do have a residence hall full of students living just kind of on top of our offices in our Union West building downtown, which was that very first picture you saw. And so that, we're working in there, but there are students living in that building as well. And so we want there to be a real emphasis on career development for the residents of Union West as kind of a benefit, a value add to choosing to live downtown in that space. So that's something just to be aware of that we are, we're planning for down the road. And then something that might be exciting to some of you on this call too, we are planning for a professional attire pop-up shop. And what I mean by that is, what we plan to do is solicit donations from our local employees, our local employer partners, our local alumni of professional attire that we can then provide to our students downtown as a donation to kind of help them prepare for their own career development, whether that be for an interview or for their first day on the job or their internship or whatever that might be. So that's definitely something that we're going to hope to partner with you all on as we move forward and kind of get back to campus in a more physical way in the coming months. But we want to turn that over to you all as well and ask, how do you all envision partnering with us? Or are there ways that we can continue to support your hiring needs and your strategic priorities? What does that look like on your end? So let's start there. And then I know that there may be some questions for our team as well. So I'm going to open it up to hear from some of our attendees first, and then we'll move to questions. How do you envision getting involved with us at UCF Valencia Downtown? And if you can't think of something right off the top of your head, that is okay too. I know what we just kind of threw at you was a lot of information. And so maybe just sit with that and kind of think on, are there ways, if you're in the local downtown community, how do you envision partnering? Or, you know, I've heard from several organizations in the last few weeks that are kind of looking at the downtown Orlando area as a potential place that their company would like to expand to, or that they're thinking about opening an office. And, you know that we're here as a resource for that too, to again, think about what partnerships could look like if this is, you know, an ecosystem that you're interested in learning more about and being a part of. So why don't we open it up for questions from you all? And that could be something for Jason in his role as Director of Student Success Downtown. It could be something for Elizabeth in her role in community partnerships, for me in career services, for Dina as a student, whatever that might be. Let's open it up for questions. Looks like we got one in the chat. I would like to recruit interns. Are there rooms available for information sessions and for interviews? That is a great question. So yes, we have the capability to support all kinds of different recruiting activities and needs downtown. We've got some different size spaces that can be sort of flexible depending on what you're looking for, but there are absolutely spaces that I can help to reserve for larger workshops or information sessions or things like that. And then some smaller spaces, if you did want to conduct interviews downtown, we can absolutely make that option available as well. So certainly if you're local and want to see our space and more fully utilize it as we get back to campus, I would love to set up, you know, a walkthrough or a tour so you kind of see what everything looks like. Just looking in the chat to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. I don't see any there. Are there any other questions that any of us can answer for you?
Hi, I think for me, I'm at Northwestern Mutual and we're downtown. And so obviously the commute from the downtown campus to our office is very quick. And so hopefully when things start to get in person, we can get on campus and just, you know, look around and be able to engage with the students. And then also from just the community engagement aspect, being able to work with you, Elizabeth, just on the things that y'all are doing. We're really big with our culture on giving back to the community. We've been working a lot with the Second Harvest Food Bank and just some other areas. And so that's always a good place to not only serve with our own organization, but maybe find ways to serve with students, you know, at the downtown campus. So just excited and looking forward to be able to, you know, connect with you all moving forward.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I think you brought up a good point that we know that in the past 14 months, a lot of folks maybe who didn't know about UCF Downtown have not had the chance to visit in person. And so hopefully when we return to campus and things are operating a little bit more typically, we would love to have anyone who's interested come and get a physical tour of our space. You know, I know the virtual tour is cool, but you can't see everything. And so we can set up something, you know, to do that downtown, and vice versa. We would love, you know, if your organization is downtown and is ever interested in hosting a site visit for any of our team members or students downtown, that's something else that we would love to coordinate, because we love to see the spaces downtown that you're working in as well. Oh, and question in the chat. Do you have an idea of when we will resume in-person events recruiting, or we can, yeah, so the question is sort of about timeline. When will we resume, you know, kind of a pre-COVID normal, or what does that look like? So I can tell you that certainly we're continuing to monitor the situation, and UCF is continuing to monitor the situation. But on the part of career services, we do plan to hold some in-person recruiting activities this fall. So that is definitely something that we're working towards. Our plan is to hold our fall career expo virtually, but to have opportunities around Career Expo for in-person engagement, networking events, info sessions, you know, recruiting, things like that. So I think the best way to probably describe what the fall will look like is that hybrid word that I know we like to throw around, you know, right now. And I know that there's still some ambiguity to that, and for that I apologize, but I think hybrid will probably be the best way to describe what fall will look like, at least. Jason, you might have the answer to this. How many students are on campus for the summer, and how many do we expect for the fall?
Yeah, that's a good question. So summer months, at UCF overall is definitely a slimmed down version of spring and fall. And so I do have the numbers. Courtney, if you want to navigate back to that slide with the IKM data, that was our data from fall 19. And so that will be what our projection and our goal is for this upcoming fall, is to have that same number of students on campus, which is about 7,000 students, if memory serves me correctly. And so that's what we'll be looking to have again coming up for the fall. Right now in the summer, I want to say that number is, we have certain days where I think the peak number of students on campus is about 500 per day, with a total over the course of the summer of I think a couple thousand, 2,000 or 3,000. So good question.
Courtney, there was also a question earlier about, are you planning on hosting any networking events on the downtown campus?
Yeah, that's a great question. So several of our departments downtown do hold kind of departmental networking events. And so I'm working with my colleagues in those areas to see if those networking events will go forward in the fall the way that they have previously. But some of the examples, our colleagues in public administration typically do a public service career showcase, which is the networking opportunity for folks in that public administration sphere. Legal studies typically holds some really cool networking events with a lot of the local law groups. But if you don't feel like that represents your area well, we're open to new and innovative networking ideas as well. And so we feel like kind of the sky's the limit. We're still building this program and this culture downtown. So it's a great way for us to partner with you all as employers to decide, what can we create that meets the needs of our employers and the needs of our students downtown. So certainly, yes, we hope that there will be some really great networking opportunities downtown. And what I can do is, anyone feel free to shoot me an email and I'll keep you informed as we schedule things or as we, plan for those types of opportunities. I'll make sure you're kind of on a listserv that's receiving any and all downtown specific updates. Certainly you'll continue to get things through Handshake as well that pertain to all of career services across all campuses. But I'd love to keep you posted on downtown specific opportunities if that's something you have an interest in. Is there a cost for the networking events? So most of our events through UCF Career Services are free. The ones that do have a price tag associated with them would be participating in Career Expo or most of our large career fairs. So some of our academic programs hold their own separate career fairs as well. But Career Expo, that one comes with a cost. And then our multicultural networking event, which is held on main campus. Typically, there's a cost associated with that one, but for all of the rest of them, they are free for employers to join and participate in.
One of the things I was going to add is that, of course, COVID-19, the pandemic, and the business disruptions have caused a lot of challenges, but it also has provided an opportunity, particularly in this instance, for customizable solutions. And so one of the things I say about Courtney specifically, she's going to be great at being able to tailor and give the employer organization what they need. So if you are looking at networking, if you're looking at site visits, Courtney is going to be able to customize and make a match between UCF downtown and the needs of your organization.
I appreciate that. And absolutely, that is what we're here for. Any other questions we can answer for anyone? I think we hit everything in the chat, and I don't want to keep everyone if there are no more questions. I know probably just in the last, 45 minutes, everyone's email inbox is now full again. And so my email is in the chat. So if you need me, please do not hesitate to reach out. Like we talked about, this session was recorded, so you'll be able to watch this back or share it with colleagues in the future if that would be helpful. But if you take away anything, it's that we are eager to partner with you in any capacity. Even if that's something that we haven't done before, we're all about innovation and collaboration. And so we hope that that we can work with you going forward on whatever your needs or strategies might be. And we're glad that you chose to join us today. So thank you so much for being here. If you don't mind taking a few minutes to take that brief survey, that would be wonderful, just to help us continue to provide events that are relevant and useful and informative. And I'll send that out via email as well, just so you don't have to scroll all the way back through the chat for it. But thanks all for joining, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.